Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. You're here to fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. Now, the letters CPS can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I call it the child protection system. Unfortunately, some of the entities in the different counties and different states are rogue. What I mean by that is that they've gone bad. They've gone bad. They've now forgotten about family reunification. They have hurt and harmed so many of you out there. And I know that's from firsthand experience. I too was a victim and have been a victim of CPS. They tore apart my life. They made it so that I can't work. I lost my home to them. It's my forever home, the one I'd worked 45 years for. I lost one of my six children because of CPS. It was a horrible nightmare to go through. And I'm here to help one and all of you to fight CPS, to have them stop taking away your children when they're not in danger, to have them keep their promises to family reunify. I have lots of experience with CPS. Over 15 years, I've been fighting them. And the 23 countries that I've spoken to, including the United States, all 50 states have been represented in here, including the District of Columbia. These 1,700 plus people have opened up their hearts and their souls and going through so much anguish and hurt and painful. I really feel it is hard on a lot of you. And good morning, Megan Wilson. You can call in now. I'd love to speak to you, Megan Wilson. Please call in now. Let me put my number up there so you can see my phone number. Now, I'm on twice a day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., and on the weekends at 8 p.m. Good morning, Megan Wilson. How are you? Okay. I'm glad that you called me this morning to talk. And are you here to ask questions or share a story? I would love to hear it. Sure. You can join me in the YouTube room. It's called Fight CPS with Bob Pace. You can take the link to one of the 7 other um, Facebook rooms, and you should be able to see the comments. Well, the easiest way to find me is to go to Facebook and you just search. Really, someone's had trouble with Facebook yesterday. Um, I'm logged on Facebook. Let me see here. Well, the room is called Fight CPS with Bob Pace. Okay. And I'm smiling right now, right? So make sure it's not a recording. Okay. Huh. Right. What part of the world are you from, Megan Wilson? Right. Now I do. Now I do. Now I do. Right up from Rehoboth Beach, where I've been. Right. You're close to New Jersey. You're right. Right. Yeah. 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 Right. Right.
My mother's husband, brother, sister's father.
Yeah.
And nothing has driven division between me and my siblings
Right.
because my mother always uses them to pit against me. Oh, your sister's talking about your dad, all this stuff. But I was removed from the home at the age of 5, placed in CPS in Pennsylvania. Um, I was tossed through different foster home programs. Basically, I was abused in all these places.
Right. Because they take advantage of children like that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I went at the age of 7 to a mental hospital where I was in the mountains as a child mental institution. I don't believe they're standing anymore because I can't seem to find any institution when I Google institutions for children in the mountains anywhere. I can't find it. But I was there for about 2 years where they drugged me unconditional, like to where we were comatose type, and I remember being strapped down to the bed. I remember sexual abuse happening. Mind you, we were so zoned out. You know what I mean? They had us on so much drugs. I mean, I have had so many diagnoses that today I take about 30 pills a day. I am now 45.
Right.
I stated because I was talking too much, is what I say. I was speaking too much about the abuse, and it was starting to catch attention, but nobody really was listening. At the same time, BFS knew I reported it to them. They never made reports in my files. They never moved me. They sent me to live with my grandmother after the hospital, stay. I lived with my grandmother, and that was from the age of 9 to the age of 12. Um, those were the best times of my life. I can say that wholeheartedly as my childhood.
Yeah.
Best times of my life. My grandmother was my savior. My papa Felix, he went back to Mexico, but he's my savior. I lost my grandmother, but my papa's still here, and I can't get to him. But they gave me everything, and then my mom got mad one day at my grandmother for not doing something for her, and she filed for petition for custody back of me because she was no longer with my brother and sister's father. He had left her and went back to Mexico and all this. Well, my karma, I think, was served. I think his karma was served because everybody that got away with positive abuse to me has gotten away with it. And no charges have ever been brought against my father. No charges have ever been brought against DFS, against the program. I can't file for anything, even though there's a nationwide lawsuit going on. Mine don't matter because the state of Pennsylvania has a statute of limitations, and mine's ran up in 20 or when I was 20 or something. I'm not sure exactly what they were saying. So with that, I ended up back with my mom, who that's when she introduced me to my birth father and said before she left, she goes, "Oh, be careful, she accuses molestation."
Wow.
And my dad got drunk. He's an alcoholic, you know.
Right.
And an addict, and he left me there for the weekend, where he violated me. He did not penetrate me, you know, with his only with his fingers.
Yes, but that's still wrong. That's still wrong.
So I told my stepmom's sister, and she stated, "Well, you need to go tell Judy, your stepmom." And when I did, she said, "I knew this would happen. Your mom told us, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, if you get this, go out front and in front of him right now. Confront him right now. And he was outside working on the car with his buddies. And I went outside and I said to him, "You know what you did to me last night in the bed with Brenda, my sister, you know?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about, little girl. You're crazy as hell." I looked up the street and I seen my car that I knew was my grandmother's car, you know, because we thought it a yellow pickup car. It was a punch buggy car, you know?
Uh-huh.
Those old Volkswagen punch buggies. I hauled ass up that apartment complex sidewalk. I just hauled ass. And I just started banging on the doors until I remembered this one apartment door there. I seen that door, and I'm banging on that door, and then that's one of the party houses my aunt goes to. You know, she had my grandmother's car.
Right.
She's who got me out of there. She got me out of there that day, that morning. And I ended up back in DFS custody. And that's where they threw me into the Devereaux Foundation, which is where the lawsuit is that I have no
It's okay. It's okay.
I have no I have no case basically because statute of limitations ran up on me. So I feel like the state is telling me basically what I've felt my whole childhood is that I didn't matter.
You do matter. You do matter. That's wrong.
It's hard to feel that way when everywhere you went for help has always turned you away and acted like nothing ever happened.
How old were you at that time? How old were you at that time?
1990s. I was like in there. I don't remember the exact years. It was my early teens.
That's wrong, you know? Because you should have been brought up. Oh boy, I'm so sorry to hear this. Yes. Yeah, I know. Did you try to go up higher? Did you try to go up higher?
Here in Delaware for the last 14 years. I met my husband now. I met him here, and I ended up going on to have a baby. He was a surprise, you know. I went to get birth control because I was raising my sister's kids at the time that I helped her get out of a bad relationship, and I had all 5 of her girls.
Wow.
So I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go get birth control. You know, that was my. They told me, "You can't, Megan, you're pregnant." I'm like, what? Okay. So I go, and mind you, when they find out you're pregnant, they also do a urine for drugs.
Right, right.
I smoke marijuana, and I'm a medical marijuana patient now, you know. I get like I have a medical marijuana card. But the state, well, the hospital basically, even though I quit smoking, like once I found out I was pregnant, I didn't smoke my whole pregnancy. I stopped cigarettes and everything.
Yeah.
And I followed everything. I went to all my appointments, everything. When I had my son, they put him on morphine strips without my permission, saying that he was withdrawing, and they labeled it that he was withdrawing from my psych meds. Mind you, if I don't take my psych meds, I'm not following my treatment plan with DFS with my doctors, and then I'm high risk, okay? Because they labeled me with all these diagnoses that I don't believe I really have. I just think I'm medicated for the last 40 years. So I'm stuck in a pattern now, stuck to where.
Well, are you, does anyone have guardianship of you? Are you, can't you go and seek outside medical help?
I see a psychiatrist. I've been seeing my.
And what is the psychiatrist? What has the psychiatrist been saying? Well, why is DCF still involved with you at age 40? Uh,
And I looked at the definition. Do you know what it is?
well, it's a magnet. Um, it's between narcissism, abuse, and poly. Right, right, right. Well, here's the thing: is that you're a grown adult. If you don't have a guardianship of you, you can walk in to a hospital of your choice, not a hospital, go see a doctor of your choice. Do you have medical insurance? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have medical insurance? Do you have a medical plan? Right. Now, on the Medicare, do you have a primary physician? Well, can't you go see that primary physician? Okay. Then what does she say that you have? That's the person you need to um well, I think someone's got you. Why are you dealing with DCF at age 40? Were you over the age of 18 when you're pregnant? Okay. So they're involved because of your child. Your child is how old? Yeah, that's why they're involved with you. They are making lots of money off you. You need to get out of that situation. You need to speak to your primary care physician and ask for help. You need to explain what your help is. The psychiatrist is not, well, then if he hasn't helped you, you need a new primary care physician. Right. Okay. Okay, can you hold on one a minute here? I need to excuse myself. The room, I need to step out for 1 second here. I will be back. I'll be back. All right, hold on.
with the part when I had gotten pregnant.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so when I got pregnant and I started seeing the doctors,
Yes.
like I said, I stopped pregnancy and everything. Then I went to delivery, planned on being induced. I told them this was a bad idea because I have inverted cervix and I can't deliver vaginally, but they didn't listen. They waited till it was hours, like days in, like over 24 hours, and then they decided to do emergency C-section, which cut oxygen off to my son's brain. And my son's autistic today. Now, mind you, my sister has a child the same way, and she went through the same delivery as me. It runs in our family. And my mom's kids, girls, we have inverted cervix like her.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go to delivery. They basically it triggered my abuse when they were checking me.
I see.
So they numbed me completely from the chest down, and then I had my son. They put him in the room with me, and then they took him up to the NICU because they said he was having withdrawal from, they say, my medication, which at that time, my medication had been significantly lowered because my psychiatrist and I did not agree with what they were going to do. Because when I first found out I was pregnant, they wanted me to see the high risk specialist at Christiana Hospital. But that psychiatrist there, she was kind of cold turkey, cut me off my medicine rapidly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it shocked my baby and killed it, like they did years before when I was pregnant and I lost my first son.
Oh boy.
So I was like, absolutely not. You're effing crazy. And I walked out and I said, I will not be back. And I got on the phone immediately with my psychiatrist and I told him what they were going to do. And he says, no. Slowly, shortly, and got down to what we thought was a safe space for me too. Because if you don't have a healthy mom, you're not going to have a healthy baby, right or wrong? Isn't that what they always say?
Yes, I agree with you. Now, I had found something here that I'd like to share with you. I looked at what inverted cervix, it says, is also known as a retroverted uterus. It's a condition where the uterus tilts backwards towards the spine. Is that what you had? Instead of forward towards the abdomen. This is a normal anatomic variation affecting approximately 20 to 25% of women and typically does not cause any symptoms or health concerns. So yours did cause you problems, right? Mm. That's hard to do that for that length of time.
When they checked me,
Mm-hmm.
they abuse.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
Medication, come down for sleeping until I got discharged 3 days later, and then I went and I stayed for 14 days in the NICU with my son. Did not
Mm-hmm.
go home, did not leave, did not even go to get clean clothes. My husband was bringing clothes to the hospital, taking dirty ones home, my clothes for my son. Even I was dressing him and bathing him daily. Everything, you know, he was he had made my world complete. You know,
Why was
because
why was CPS is CPS involved because you're once for a foster kid and they wanted to take your child? Is that why they're involved? Well, see you have a history as you said you're brought into foster care, and they keep data on you, and it's so sad because it repeats itself. There's so many of you out there have told me that I'm being accused wrongly, and I'm an adult now. As a child, I was in foster care. What they do is they keep data on you, and they know that you're easy prey, and all they want is the money. That's sad. That's really sad. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of Maximus. No.
they, they money. Look, Maximus.
I am going to it right now because what controls the money, the government's money, is Congress. So I'm confused why you say right now we have the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, who's investigating all the problems with the government. Max Maximus. Is that spelled Maximus? Yeah. Well, no, I haven't. It says here Maxim is recruiting medical providers to join our team of SSA medical experts. What in the world is this? No,
People that the views that have been, you know, they pick from. It's all run through a whole, like an MS of uh, programming. You know.
well, is Maximus Inc. is Maximus Inc. a American government service company with operations including the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and it provides administration and other services for Medicaid, Medicare, and healthcare reform, welfare to
Yeah.
work, and student loan servicing, among other government programs. The company is based in Tyson, Virginia, and it has 39,600 employees and a reported annual revenue of 5.3 billion in the year 2024. Now, I've never heard of this group. I don't know how. It just says it's a service company. The
Yeah.
government, see,
Money for DFS and for, you know, and how they do it. They got whistleblowers on there of DFS and everything. But
wow.
yeah,
I don't know why these administrations would use them. It says here in their 80s and 90s, they were enacted by the Reagan administration and continued into the Bush and Clinton administration. It led to the U.S. government increasing private sector contracting of administrative program functions operating under the control of the government. In 1988, Maxwell was awarded his first contract for social wear from the Los Angeles County and began shifting focuses towards business process outsourcing and provide state-based consulting services. Passage of the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation of 1906 under President Clinton granted states greater latitude in administrating social welfare programs, and the Balance Act of 1997 amending certain eligibility, enrollment, visual and medical. I went public in 97. I just never heard of this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. I would have to spend a lot of time here reading it because there's a lot about it. Um, well, right. Well, they're definitely going to investigate CPS. All the child protection systems will be investigated because they're part of social services, and social services is being investigated. But this company called Maximus is a public company, but I don't think it's control. I just don't stand here. It says um, Maximus was awarded a 10-year contract as the lead operator of citizen contacted centers, including Medicare. Wow. I'll look it up because I remember something like that. Gabriel Hernandez. Oh, Fernandez. Now, what about him? Let's see what it says here. It's called The Murder of Gabriel Fernandez. He was murdered. Very cute child. Yeah, I will look at that. It was a child abuse murder case. Continues. It's still continued, it says. Yeah, he was from Palmdale, California, who had been tortured too. Now, what does he have to do with Maxis? What does he have to do with that? I will. I will. I will look at it.
So, just like you and I can fight in Maximum, and that is like one of the highest rated stock rates right now.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, people like you and I can buy into it, and it's people like you and I that are just used and telling like that are able to put money and buy into this, and they have a stake in the company.
Yeah. Well, it seems
And
like she has a life imprisonment. The mother does, and then the death. Yeah. Yeah. Now he's still on death row, right?
she needs to be in prison. She knows she needs to be on death row too. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts. You participated. You burned him with cigarettes. You guys did so much to this little boy. You kept him in a cabinet, chained with a sock in his mouth and bandana tied around his face. You know, like they brutally did some shit to that baby.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I was saying with me, I've had DFS in my life ever since I had my son. They tried to use my mental health and they took my son away. Then I fought and I got him back. But in that process, they used my husband's charge from over, now it's been 26 years ago.
So your husband has a criminal background, but they're trying to bring up something that was he already served his time?
He did, but the only thing is he was on the registry, but he's off now. He was on because of a girl that lied about her age when he was in his 20s. A runaway that lied about her age, and he got charged with it. So he took his charge and he did a year in jail, and then he had to be on the registry for 25 years. So he's done that and he's off the registry. But they tried to use that. So they had him do a reevaluation for the state registered sex offender evaluator. And she came back saying that he's zero risk to ever offending, zero risk to ever hurting any children, has no restrictions of being around children, everything. Came back with flying colors for him. He's never, ever had any other charges other than that. You know what I mean? And his whole
right. So where, for all you listeners out there, this is a mother of a 9-year-old boy who is now, who has very special needs. It's autistic. And this mother is, you're 40 years old? You're 45 years old. And she had a complication at birth because she had an inverted cervix. And it didn't let her open wide enough to have her baby come out. And I think there's some damage done to the baby. That's why he is autistic. And so she, because she was a foster child as a teenager and she was abused and raped and so forth, CPS kept track of her. And when she started having babies, they went after her. And now they've taken her 9-year-old son, but she got it back. So where's your son now? Oh, I thought you said that they tried to take him back from you. Oh.
then it would have been brain dead or a vegetable.
Oh.
Raging drug addict. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. That's what they labeled me as. They won't leave me to F alone. I can't breathe. You're mentally breaking me every single time you come here. I work hard to get the treatment I get. I do therapy. I'm in, with the psychiatrist for over 10 years, like they just constantly repeatedly bring up mental health breakdown. I break down. And I literally took 2 bundles of heroin mixed with fentanyl, and I mixed it up and I shot it in myself, and I died in my bed. And my husband found me. Huh?
That is so tragic. I'm just, I'm feeling for you. So.
They didn't even until 4 years later. I said, you are so goddamn dumb that I sat here and died under your watch and you didn't even know it.
Well, what does Maxima have to do with your case? What does Maxima have to do with your case? Well, is Maxima involved in is it involved in CPS? Well, see, that's what I'm trying to understand. So this Maximum Group is a private group that supposedly was brought on in the 80s and 90s, and all these presidents, Clinton and Obama, uh, and has said they are a good group. I mean, what fun? I mean, are they just supposed to administrate the government's money? If Congress appoints $75 million to CPS, would Maxima come in there and make sure the money's delivered? What is their purpose?
Yes, you to you, and you will be able to understand better, and then you can school people on them.
Yeah, well,
But
I'm hoping that Doge does investigate. I don't know if they'll investigate a private entity. See, that's the problem. If it's a government entity, they would. But the private is controlling. I just can't believe our government's so stupid enough. I don't think President Trump will allow it to happen. I don't know. I don't know.
with my situation now, my son's about to be 9 on the 14th of June. And I am on probably around my 15th case. They want to close my case, but I refuse because I know that within 6 weeks or more, a little more, they're going to come knocking again. And I've worked hard to get down on my meds, and then they come in, and then my meds get ripped right back up. And I'm on these high doses that I don't feel I really have all these diagnoses that I've been drugged for
Well,
the last 40 years.
you've talked to me for about 47 minutes, and you sound very intelligent. You don't slur your words. You're very cognitive. I mean, you are a very intelligent woman there, and you're a very caring and loving woman who's been through a lot of pain and suffering growing up. You know, well, yeah, that's the hard thing about lawyers because lawyers, most of them, I mean, very few of them I know that will help you for nothing because it seems like all they think about is money. And what is DCF? What is DFF? What is DFF? Oh yeah, okay. I just say CPS because there's so many different entities out there. It's I know. Long as I just say CPS, everybody will know what I'm talking about. But Vincent Davis has fought CPS. He's fought and won lots of money back. I know that. I understand that. I'm certainly aware of that because I couldn't afford him to even do a civil lawsuit. So I know about that. I know about that. Well, I'm hoping that when you talk to Vince Davis with your private 15-minute consultation, that you'll have a chance to ask him some important questions. And one of them can be is that, how can you help me, Mr. Davis? I know your price, you're expensive. I'm in Trenton. Um, I mean, I mean, Wilmington, I'm sorry. I'm in Wilmington, Delaware. And uh, I know that it is it is expensive. There's no question about that. Um, well, we'll have to see how it goes because it's going to be scheduled within the week. It'll be scheduled within the week. I got your name, I got your email, and I got your phone number, and I've submitted it to my show producer, Grace, who will then arrange a private Zoom consultation with you. I went ahead and did that. I know how important you want to talk to him. Yeah. Well, what is the story about medical marijuana in the state of Delaware? What's the law? Okay. Okay. Well, is CPS trying to use that against you? Is CPS trying to use that against you?
During, you know, the beginning of my pregnancy, I didn't know I was pregnant, you know.
Right.
And when I got tested and found out I was pregnant, they also did a urine for drugs, and it showed up positive for marijuana. Even though my doctors knew that, they all knew that. My psychiatrist knew that, you know, and he thinks it's a good thing for me, you know, because I don't take pain pills for my pain. I don't take any drugs for, you know, like for pains that I physically have, ailments, sickness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like it's been a rough road, and it's been something that literally I say every day I don't know how much more I can handle, and
Well, I hope you do. You have faith in God?
um
I know.
believe,
I
I
know.
believe in the
Yeah.
most. I believe there is a God, but I don't know where He is today.
Well, you got to find him because you know he is everywhere. It's hard to believe. I just learned the other day. You know, I've been around for a long time, but I learned the other day that God and Jesus are the same. I did not know that. And on top
Yeah,
of that, he really wants people to forgive their sins so they go to heaven. He is really he's there at the gate of heaven. And I look at it this way. I have to believe in God because how else do you explain the creation of the world or all these things every day we see? When a baby's born, that is a miracle. You know, it's like things that happen sometimes. I'll ask for help and then it will come to me. I mean, some silly things like I say, I need more time on this bid. I used to do civil engineering work and I would generate sales. So I'd bid on public work projects. And I'd worry about the deadline because at the deadline, you had to turn your bid in. Of course, if you didn't perform, you'd be out the door. So you always had this pressure
right.
of putting together this package. And I would pray. And sure enough, it get postponed with addendum come out or I get more time on it. I've seen this happen with my own children and stuff. Now, I've been praying for my firstborn to come back to me, but she's now, oh boy, she's 36 years old and I've not seen her since she was 3. And I have some other children of mine that, yeah, I know that. I have lost my 12-year-old. My wife and I lost her 12-year-old to CPS. She was 12 at the time. The social worker was caught committing perjury, so she retaliated and she instructed her daughter how to emancipate from the parents. That means divorce your mom and dad and brothers and sisters and cousins and stuff, to change her name, to seal her birth certificate, to have a new birth certificate created so that she could put her adopted foster care parents on it. And then on top of that, um, on top of that, she got a second social security card social security number, and she is double dipping for my retirement. She was taking some, well, of course, until she was 18. When she turned 18, that all stopped. But at 12, so for 6 years, she was getting $2,000 a month for my retirement, my money that I had put into my retirement. It wasn't anybody else's money, but my money. And so every month she was getting that for 6 years, $2,000. That's $24,000 a year times 6. She wasn't getting it. The money that the adopted parents were getting it. That was wrong. That's over
Yeah.
$70,000 that I gave to my
Well,
daughter. You know, I just
for child support. And I'm going in there. I'm like, what the hell? Like, they wanted to charge us child support for when they took our son away for the time period they had him. I said, you got to be a goddamn fool if you think I'm going to give you a damn penny for something that you stole from me.
right,
You
right,
stole the joy of motherhood for those first few months. You know, those
right,
time. You
right.
stole that from me. You destroyed me. There's no damn way I'm gonna give you a penny.
Yeah.
You know, I have a cousin that, God rest her soul, she died.
Mm-hmm.
They stole her first four kids. And she ended up dying from drugs and being out there because she gave up on life completely because they made her sign her rights away. And her family, I don't. Everybody says, well, you know, do you have family for placement if they do take him? Do you have family? I don't. That's the thing. Me and my husband do not have family.
Well, yeah, you told me about how your dad abused you sexually.
My brother is in prison He's a serial rapist. He's due for parole in 2031.
That is hard, but you know what surprises me? All these rapists. The prisoners take care of the rapists. They really do. They're oh, okay. But the prisoners hate child pedophiles and they hate people that rape. And the prisoners themselves are bad, but I can guarantee that your brother is not having a good time in prison.
Because the state of Pennsylvania requires that the victim must testify in front of the accused. And these babies were scared to death to be around their dad. They were scared to death to sit there and him looking at them. They were terrified. So they refused to testify and they dropped the charges on all the rapes that he did to his kids. And that makes me disgusted that Pennsylvania is so fucked up.
We got to be careful about our choice of words. I know you're angry about that. That's okay. It's a family show, and I have to be really careful what we talk about. But yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to leave you some message here that would help you. That you know, my strength in God has gotten a lot better lately. I picture a railroad track. I'm like a locomotive on a train, and the track has two rails. The left rail is what I call my circle of life. Now, I want to have a big circle because I want to live a long time. The circle of life I picked up from The Lion King, the movie by Disney called The Lion King. And so I try to follow my circle of life. But the other rail is the rail that I've dedicated to God, to heaven. Now, for a while, I never believed there was a heaven. I still don't know if there's a hell. I still don't know about a lot of things there, but I'm learning. And there are railroad ties that connect the two rails, and each of them is a step in the right direction. And, you know, you need to really, if you open the Bible, you'd be surprised at the passages, how they can relate to today. So I leave you with that. Keep the faith going because it'll warm your heart. And maybe you'll meet a group that you can join in and meet and talk to. There's so many different churches out there. There's so many different ways of people supporting one another in the churches. And you need to find a niche, the right church for you. You need to find the right church. I know. I know. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to sit you into organization. All I'm trying to do is where there is a God, He loves you, and I love you, and I want you to do better. I want to thank you for taking your time. I have now talked about an hour, and it's after 11 o'clock, and I need to end my show. And I appreciate you taking your time to share your story, to tell from your heart. You're a very intelligent woman. I don't know what your psychiatrist thinks, but oh, okay, well, that is good, but he also should help you down the road because you need to have DCF out of your life. You need to get it cleared up. If your case is over, have them close your case. And well, they won't reopen it. If you get a statement from them, you need to do what's called purge your CPS records. You need everything, and you need to talk to an attorney about that. That's one of the questions you can ask Mr. Davis when you talk to him. How do I purge my CPS records? You want to clear out anything they have on you. You're entitled to, once you're complete with CPS, to have it purged. Too many people forget, then they'll come back and you're easy prey for them to manipulate you. But anyway, please keep, be safe, enjoy your son, try to enjoy life, and God bless you and thank you for the time. Now, for the rest of my listeners in my room, we had Megan Wilson from Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, who is a very loving mom with a 9-year-old son, a son with special needs, and she wants to raise her child. And I know she does, and she's lucky she has a husband. You need all the support you can. It will take time. Time is the worst enemy because it drags on so slow. It drags on so slow. But you will get over it, and it will happen. And for the rest of my listeners out there, a lot of you didn't really say anything this morning, which is different because yesterday morning I had 9 phone calls and so many people I didn't know where to start. Today I've had just you, Megan, and that's been good. But anyway, you're going to hear a brief message from my attorney when I end this live stream. And I'm sorry, what? Yes, you like it? You like it or not? Okay, well, I'm going to play it again. Listen to it. God bless you. And this is Bob Pace. Sign off till tonight. I'll be on at 7 p.m.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last